Here we are back in Jeff's shed again, and Jeff's busy on his miller making a stepped top yoke from a nice big thick piece of billet aluminium that we saw last time round. And this step yoke is going to be for William's Café Racer, isn't it? His Z650 Café Racer.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And how many hours have you got into that so far?
Probably about 5 or 6 hours at the minute. By the time you board it, it's
yeah,
at least
and
5
how many more hours before it's finished then? Another 5 or 6? Or?
Probably about another 5 or 6 hours before it's finished.
So it's a good 10 hours work in that. Yeah.
And then if you want it rubbing and polishing, no.
That's even more.
Then you can spend all the time doing that. So now we've got the fluid off.
Yeah.
We can actually, we're only taking about a mil cut off. It's not too bad without fluid.
Yeah.
As long as you don't start ramping into it very quick and it picks up. So what we're going to do, we've just got to keep going, and we've got to, the cutter's got a slight radius on the edge.
Yeah.
We're going to try and just polish it in so that with a light bit of wet and dry in a perfect.
So it won't be a very harsh angle there, it'll be just rounded off slightly.
Even with a CNC machine, it'd be a very difficult thing to machine in one go.
Yeah.
Without changing a cutter.
Okay, well, we'll leave you now to do that for the next 5 hours, and we'll come back when it's at its next step. I'll go away now and drink tea. Here we are, several hours later now. You're still milling William's top yoke. But you've done the far side, and now you're doing the front. Is that right?
The back's been done and it's been polished in.
Yeah.
Just taking a bit out the front. We've got our little bits there. We've got to face up, and then they're going to be drilled and slotted. But basically, the next step after I've just got the external milling done, is to drill them, thread them, and then set them up in the vise vertically, and with a little slit saw, put a little 8 slot through them.
And that'll act as a clamp to clamp on the...
Then you've got the clamp for the top yoke.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, great. Well, I'm going to go back now and carry on with my work, drill some more holes, and I'll leave you to it.
Thank you.
Okay. And here's William's top yoke. It's now been shaped. It's now waiting to be slit and drilled for the clamps, and also for the handlebar clamps too. So here we've got William's step top yoke set up on the miller, and you're just giving it a little centre hole now prior to drilling it and tapping it for the clamps. Is that right?
Yep, just going to check to see how...
Yeah, you've spent quite a long time marking it up just right and setting it up just right. Okay, so having got that centre hole done, you're now moving on to a drill bit, which is a flat drill bit.
It's a little flat. It's slightly smaller than what we'll use to sink for the head of the bolt.
Yeah. And that hole's there to recess the head of the socket head. So you now get your 8mm.
We're going to go down
drill
halfway.
Bit. You're going to drill halfway down. You've marked it all out carefully. You've got your lock stop set up on the miller, so it can't go anymore.
So it can't go too far.
Okay, so off you go then.
So we can turn our power source on.
Not very exciting to watch a drill bit, but go on. It just shows how much time and effort goes into getting this just right. It's not just a question of drilling a hole and sticking a bolt through it.
There we go.
Okay, great stuff.
Just put the
cap head.
The cap head in. It's sat a probably couple of mil there. I'd say that's perfect. That.
I mean, obviously it'll be the other way around.
It'll be the other way around, obviously, yeah. So when it's actually in, don't want to sink it in too much, or it looks like you've.
Okay, that's great. And so now your last step is to thread that bottom half of the hole. And here's William's top yoke. It's now been slit, and these holes have been drilled for the bar mounts, and these have been rounded off here. These little projections have been rounded off.
All been. Yeah, it's not a perfect arc.
No, but they've been rounded off a wee bit.
But it's just took the sharp
and I see you've done a little bit of rounding off there.
Just with a deburrer, but it could have a lot more.
Yeah,
you know.
There's still a bit more work to do yet, but that'll have to wait until he gets his frame back and it gets fitted on the bike, and you can see if it's.
We don't want to go too far with it yet, obviously, because we may have to bore some of that out to clear the top nuts. But until we get the bike back, we're not going to know until he sits it on.
And then at the end of all that, in its polishing, which will take hours and hours and hours, which I'm glad I won't be doing, but that'll have to wait until the frame comes back from the chap who's making William's aluminium tank and seat unit. Great.